this is probably the first time in the history of Bitcoin that we have true price discovery. There's a new army of buyers. There's an army of salespeople. I mean, what BlackRock is doing is breathtaking, right? That's an army of salespeople being endorsed by their CEOs saying, guys, this is an important part of the future. Baby boomers have $85 trillion of wealth. Their wealth is, for the most part, managed through registered investment advisors who now, at least half of them or some portion of them can just buy the ETF. And so you're seeing, a step function in new owners of Bitcoin, which is driving, I would say, a frenzy in the whole crypto ecosystem. How crypto always works is Bitcoin gets bought and some people sell a little bit to buy Ethereum and they try to play the catch-ups and the altcoins. And I would say we've gotten to very frothy levels. You can see it in the funding rates of the altcoin market, how much you get paid to actually lend out your coins in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the alts. And so you saw it in the equities, the public equity markets, MicroStrategy, Marathon, all the kind of public equity bellwethers really went parabolic along with Bitcoin. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see some correction and some consolidation, but I still think we're going to end the year much higher.
Bitcoin is on the brink of a major price shift, currently sitting at just over $97,500, up more than 88% year-to-date. Mike Novogratz provides an update on Bitcoin and the crypto market, explaining why BlackRock is set to bring in a new wave of buyers in 2025. With BlackRock becoming one of the biggest players in the space, this will be just the beginning, as entire countries are now setting their sights on Bitcoin. Novogratz highlights that just 1% of BlackRock's portfolio could unlock hundreds of billions of dollars in institutional capital. He predicts that when this happens, Bitcoin could see a 400% increase, targeting a price of $150,000. We could be looking at the biggest crypto surge yet in just a few months. Let's dive into the latest interview with Mike Novogratz as he shares his price predictions and timeline for Bitcoin and what we can expect in the coming days and weeks.
Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself first ahead of the crowd. We have created the ultimate step-by-step crypto cheat guide that will guide you this bull run. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Now by clicking on the link below to get your exclusive copy just under $10.
Well, we got pretty close, but I do think then you're going to see, and partly this is, if you look at Fidelity or any of these big platforms that have so much baby boomer wealth, just shifting 2 to 3%, 1 to 3% of those assets, encouraging their customers to shift to Bitcoin over time, which has been an amazing diversifier, is a monster number, right? You think about it, like I said, 85 trillion of baby boomer wealth, 3% of that is 2.5 trillion, right? The whole market cap of Bitcoin. Again, we're going to see a step change function. We're in the process, and I like to call it price discovery. A good friend mentioned that. I was like, he's dead right. That's what it is.
Where do you think Bitcoin is a year from now?
Much higher. Listen, how do you put yardsticks around something? Right? We know gold is a $12 trillion asset. Bitcoin's about a tenth of gold. Could Bitcoin be half of gold at one point? Sure, it could. It will be. And at one point, it will be larger than gold. Again, for every Charlie Munger, God rest his soul, who passes away, that money is finding its way into Gen Z and millennials. And they feel much more comfortable with digital gold than old clunky gold. I'm kind of halfway in between. I like a little of both. I got some gold coins that we give out on our podcast because it's, you can touch it, but I go to a lot more Bitcoin than I do gold. Listen, in every mania, in every excitement, people are going to buy at the wrong level because it feels easy. And then they're going to get washed out and they're going to sell at the wrong level. And then it's going to go back up and they're going to say, I can't believe I sold. Like, that's just part of speculation and it's part of investing. You could say the same with NVIDIA or Tesla or anything that has monster moves. Everyone has FOMO. And so, yes, some investors are going to buy at the wrong level and then stop out at the wrong level. What has been unbelievably impressive about the core Bitcoin community is just how resilient they've been. Down, I remember doing an interview with you, at 18,000, and the core Bitcoiners just took pain. And so I don't think the core group of people that have owned this thing and really loved it and promoted it, there are no sellers there. Michael Saylor ain't selling. And the new people are going to kind of ease in. Listen, I don't think you're buying it into your 401k and selling it a month later, right? And so most of this new money, I think, is going to be sticky money or hodler money in crypto terms. But the retail, the young speculation that's happening on, all the apps and on Robinhood and on Coinbase and everywhere else, that's going to have blow off tops and blow off bottoms, and people are going to get chopped up like they always do in speculative manias. Paul Tudor Jones taught me, like, year 3 of my Wall Street career, prices are set at the margin. When we have more marginal buyers than marginal sellers, prices go up. And that's what I mean by price discovery. There's a new army of buyers. There's an army of salespeople. I mean, what BlackRock is doing is breathtaking, right? That's an army of salespeople being endorsed by their CEOs saying, guys, this is an important part of the future. We didn't have that 6 months ago. And so I do think, like, it's going to be hard to figure out where equilibrium is in the next 6 to 12 months.
Novogratz confidently predicts that explosive growth is on the horizon, with BlackRock and many other crypto giants leading the way. He assures that the long-awaited surge is finally set to happen.
Think about it. Before the halving, with that 60,000 Bitcoin, it's about $54 million a day of new supply, right? We have one customer who is one of the retail apps that pretty much buys $30 to $35 million a day just with us. And I'm sure we're not the only person they buy with, right? There is a tremendous global demand for Bitcoin. And so when you see what's driving the market day to day right now is at 8 o'clock at night, all the ETFs talk about how much they bought or sold, and it was $500 million or $400 million. As long as those numbers stay positive, you're going to see some momentum in Bitcoin. The first day they go negative, people are going to sell off Bitcoin because they think, oh, the ETF funds are going to slow. And so that's kind of like the insider's way of looking at this in the short term. But that's a little myopic. Let's look each month at what the total flows into Bitcoin is from that ETF community plus other communities. After the halving, that 54 million goes to 27 million. I mean, that's a bid-ask spread right now. And so there's just not a lot of supply. This is one of the least inflationary assets or most deflationary assets there is. It's why, when you see our government spending so much money, people are drawn to this narrative. Well, there's a tremendous amount of liquidity in the market right now, a shocking amount. I mean, I was looking at just some of the volumes of the stocks that traded. Forget the ETFs, which traded record volumes yesterday, but look at MicroStrategy's volume yesterday, or Marathon, or Riots. The U.S. equity market has monster volume in crypto. You're starting to see it on the exchanges, and the crypto exchanges. And so plenty of liquidity, which means that lots of people are getting leveraged. I think the market is too leveraged right now. It happens after huge runs. You have leverage at the max, at the highs. There will be a washout. I don't know when it is, today, tomorrow, 2 weeks, a month. It'll be, I hate to call things healthy washouts because it never feels healthy when you lose money. And when there's a washout, the price will go down. But there will be a washout. People can't sustain this much leverage. And remember, a lot of the offshore trading platforms can give you 50, 60, 70 to 1 leverage. And so you got a lot of, millennials and Gen Z YOLOing it. And they will get, some will make money and a lot of them will get wiped out. The big institutional players have less leverage, right? I mean, very few people are buying an ETF with leverage. And the broker-dealer community or the kind of core players, I think, learned a lot of lessons. And so I always said, like, we don't take a lot of leverage. Like, why would you take a lot of leverage on an 80 vol asset? In some ways, it's the definition of insanity to lever up an 80 vol asset. But retail still loves leverage. And you're going to see this boom bust in the short run with an overall really positive trend as people just keep deciding to allocate some of their portfolio to Bitcoin. The libertarian side of me says, a 2 to 1 levered ETF, people are big boys and they know what they're doing, right? We've got products all over the place. I don't want to be telling people, how much to bet or where they should bet. If I see someone betting 15 to 1 on something that's as volatile as Bitcoin, I'll tell them I think that's just a recipe for disaster.
The crypto market is primed for a meteoric surge in prices. Novogratz highlights Bitcoin's current undervaluation, which is attracting investors and speculators eager to capitalize on September's price fluctuations. His outlook is driven by the approaching wave of mass adoption, presenting an unparalleled opportunity to get involved. He sees a race toward a six-figure price target unfolding in less than a year. Additionally, he points to the intriguing historical pattern where Bitcoin's value surges 10x following each halving event, suggesting that 2025 could propel Bitcoin to an astonishing $150,000. Novogratz argues that the promises made by the Federal Reserve and central banks have proven hollow, resulting in excessive money printing and poor investments. In the wake of the recent inflation surge, he predicts there will be no return to the old status quo. He believes the economy is spiraling out of control, with the U.S. facing a growing debt crisis. Novogratz outlines two grim scenarios: hyperinflation or a deflationary depression, both of which would worsen the overall quality of life. He notes the lack of viable solutions, which could deepen the crisis. Interestingly, he points out that political figures are now considering Bitcoin as a potential solution, signaling a shift toward a Bitcoin-centric financial framework. What do you think of Mike Novogratz's predictions for Bitcoin, the crypto market cap, and the institutional capital flowing into the space? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these two awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.